Hi guys, welcome to Mzansi Sports Arena where we talk everything sports from the fans' perspective. My name is Ntumbluko Matebula. Today we'll be looking at match day 2 of the UEFA Champions League. We have a lot of big matchups. Today we'll be looking a little bit on detail on the match up between PSG and Manchester City Football Club, as well as AC Milan against Atletico Madrid and Liverpool versus FC Porto. Today I'm joined by Nkongelo Baloi. He's an Arsenal fan. Unfortunately, Arsenal is not in Champions League. We'll be looking at a few matches. Eugene, Nkongelo, welcome.
Thanks for having me, bro. It's been a minute. It's good to be back.
Thanks, man. We're looking at Champions League today. There's a lot of big matches happening. PSG, Man City, Porto, Liverpool, AC Milan, Atletico Madrid. Let's dive right in. We're going to be starting with PSG, Man City. Messi is back for some quick team news on this matchup. Messi was back in training for PSG after missing 2 league games. Sergio Ramos is still out with injury, so he's yet to make his debut. And Angel Di Maria is still suspended after picking up a red card in the second leg against Manchester City last season in the semi-finals. So this team met last season in the semi-finals. Man City won both legs, home and away. They won 2-1 away in France and 2-0 at home. So now looking at this matchup, I mean, a lot of people are looking forward to this one. It's been dubbed Guardiola versus Messi. It's going to be a big one. Where do you think this one is going to be won, and who do you have your money on this one?
I see Man City walking away with this one easily. Reason being, PSG is a team that's trying to figure things out. And at Champions League, when you're still trying to figure things out, the bigger teams will deal with you. So I believe Man City being the team, they've been together for years now. They know how to handle the big games pressure. They've done it against the likes of Madrid, the likes of Liverpool. I see them winning this one. I see the Messi factor, but the team is still trying to figure out combinations. Got players coming in, players going out, suspension. The Di Maria factor will be huge. We can see the plan 3, but who's going to provide for them?
Yeah, that's true.
Di Maria has always been that person that player who always try to have an assist to give players the drive. One more thing, their defense. I think we spoke about this on our last recording that their defense is not Champions League sharp. And I see Man City winning. I have them winning. I think both teams will concede, but I see me coming on top 3-1 on this one. Based on the form and the new additions of Grealish, who wanna be playing Champions League maybe for the first time or
his second match now.
For the second match now, yeah. But the excitement is still there. He's on Champions League now. We want to showcase his talent. Then we have Mahrez coming in. We know De Bruyne always excel on Champions League. I understand that PSG are playing at home with the crowd being back and stuff, but we know Guardiola hate to lose Champions League matches. He hates to lose those matches, and then he's still trying to get a trophy for them in Champions League. So this will be one of
Messi.
Yeah. So this one will be one of the statement game for him. We will want to make a statement that we in it to win it this time.
Yeah. And what do you think about the schedule that Man City has? I mean, they played Chelsea this past weekend. They're playing PSG tonight away from home, and on Sunday they're away again at Liverpool. I mean, he's a coach that likes rotating, and with the quality that Manchester City has, he can also afford to do that rotation without compromising on the quality. So you'll expect that you rotate a few players, but do you think that will be a factor in today's match? The rotation will
No.
it affect the way that they're going to play against a PSG team that really didn't do well, didn't cause a lot of problem for a club rich team that really everyone expected to be the whooping boys of that group.
If you remember the two matches he played against Real Madrid, remember how he set up his squad for the away match. He got everyone surprised with De Bruyne playing as a false nine.
Yeah.
Right, and then we had Gabriel Jesus playing on the left. I think we might have something similar tonight. Not trying to lose the match and maybe end up winning. In Champions League, it's always been tactical. We know when it's come to Premier League, it goes in. He knows how the intensity of Premier League's like. But with Champions League, he's always tried to play around with tactics. I think we might have the similar situation tonight.
Yeah, that's an interesting view. I also believe that it will have one of those surprising elements in the game. But I think looking at the way they played against Chelsea and the personnel that they used, you'll expect that the front three that started against Chelsea maybe might keep Grealish only, and then you just rotate the others because Mahrez came on only as a sub, and so the likes of Sterling as well has not been getting a lot of game time. So this gives him an opportunity, and that's one thing I like about City and the quality that they have, that they are able to rotate and change these players around without compromising on their gameplay, their systems, and also their quality. So I also agree with you that provided that Guardiola doesn't go crazy, because I feel like sometimes it does go overboard in terms of his tactics and overthinking and thinking too much about what the opponent is going to do. So, but I think that City is going to dominate this game. And like we said about PSG, I feel like it's a team that is not really balanced. When you look at the team as a whole from back to front, the absence of Sergio Ramos at the back is very huge, because they lost someone like Thiago Silva, who was a leader at the back. And with Marquinhos and Kipembe, I don't feel like they have leaders at the back. And when you look at the middle of the park and the formation that Pochettino likes to play, a 4-3-3 formation, it really doesn't suit the personnel that he has in the team. And it sort of stifles out that attacking and creative spark that you need in the middle of the park, because he likes to play with three central midfielders across the board, and he doesn't have creative players. So and he also plays Messi as part of the front three, and we know Messi now, as he is in his early 30s, going to mid 30s, he tends to drop into the middle of the park. He wants to touch the ball a lot. So it really doesn't work more as a 4-3-3, but more as a 4-4-2, with Messi being part of the front three. So I feel like that's the imbalance. And I feel like until he figures out a way to play Neymar, Mbappe, Messi, Di Maria, Draxler in a formation that sort of suits all those four players, I feel like they're going to struggle. And even though they are top of the league in League One, and if you look at the way they've won the matches and how they played, they are really not convincing. So I believe also that Man City is going to win this one. There will be goals scored on both sides. So I believe Man City is going to take this one by 2-1 as well. Okay, now we're moving into AC Milan, Atletico Madrid. I mean, this is going to be only the second meeting. I mean, looking at the stature of the teams, this is only going to be the third meeting, rather, of these European giants. They've only met twice before, in the 2013-2014 season, which was the last season that AC Milan played Champions League football until they came back in this season. So in those two previous matches, Atletico Madrid, you remember in that season, they reached the final. They won both legs, winning 1-0 away in San Siro, and then winning 4-1 at home. But I believe this is going to be a whole different ball game Now looking at the form of Atletico Madrid and how they played in match day 1 against Porto, and it seems like also Atletico Madrid are a team that are going through a transition, like we said about PSG as well in terms of the personnel, because we have seen that Diego Simeone, the coach of Atletico Madrid, is moving away from his traditional 4-4-2 formation and is trying to play now more of a 3-1-4-2 formation because of the personnel that he has. Now, Atletico has a lot more of creative players and attacking players, so he's trying to fit in all those pieces together. It has not really worked well that far, but also they are not really doing badly. I mean, they're still fourth in La Liga. Obviously, the league is still in infancy stages, 3 points behind Real Madrid with only 7 matches played. So it's still early days. But if you're looking at this one, Eugene, where do you think this is going to be won? What's your money on this one?
I'm looking at how AC Milan performed the match against Liverpool with the players that they got, like the addition of Rebic. I believe it's huge going up front, and the form of Casey.
And
in the middle of the park. I would love to see AC Milan win this one, and it might happen because I've watched Atletico Madrid play their league match. There's a player that was playing on the right back. I know he's versatile and stuff, but it's Loriente. Loriente is good in the middle, but he was playing a wing back, right wing back, and we have Griezmann, who has to be reintroduced into the system of Atletico Madrid again. I think it's gonna take a bit of time. We have Suarez, who lost mileage. We have
Joao Felix still there.
Joao Felix is, I don't think he picked the form as yet. I've watched him play. I was more frustrated for the whole game. And if AC Milan pull up the performance they had against Liverpool, I see them winning this match. And if you saw their last matches in Serie A, they've been doing well. I mean, I think they have players to grind the results for this one. So this might end up as a draw or AC Milan win.
Okay. Yeah, I totally agree with you on this one. I feel like Atletico Madrid are a team that are still trying to sort of regroup and find themselves with the new personnel that they have, and with that new formation that they are playing. Like I said, I feel like it's something that is still in progress, and you know how Diego Simeone likes to play. Like, you know, they want to. They like making games dirty, you know, and interesting for the viewers, you know. So I believe they are not going to give AC Milan a lot of spaces in this game. It's going to be a hard one. It's going to be a tough one. I said they play a 3-1-4-2 formation, but when they don't have the ball, that formation reverts back to a 4-4-2. Right. And they crowd the middle of the park. So it's going to be very tough for the likes of Casey, Tonali, and the exciting trio of AC Milan, of Leao, Ibrahim Diaz, and Sale Marcus. It's going to be tough to navigate in those spaces because they're going to close it up and they're going to make sure that it's not going to be a beautiful game to watch. So it's going to be an ugly one. And if you watched how they played against FC Porto, I mean, they restricted Porto to just one shot on target the entire game. But I feel like with the way they set up also, it also works against them because they also did not create a lot of chances because they don't have a lot of creative players that are going to support the likes of Suarez and Griezmann and Correa up front. And also, like you mentioned, that a player like Suarez does not have the same speed and, you know, like he used to when he was still at Liverpool or in his peak at FC Barcelona. So I also believe, or I would like to see AC Milan taking this one, but I believe this is going to end as a 0-0. It's not going to be a nice game to watch. I believe if the likes of Ibrahimovic and Bakayoko were available for AC Milan, we could be looking at a different game. But when you look at a player like Rebic and Giroud up front, these are type of players that are unlikely to cause a lot of problems for a well-drilled Atletico Madrid's defense. So I believe these teams are going to cancel each other out, as much as AC Milan offers more of the attacking threat and creativity, but I feel like Atletico Madrid is going to neutralize them, and this is going to be a 0-0 draw for me. And then now moving to the other big game of the match week 2, FC Porto Liverpool. I mean, this is one matchup that Liverpool has dominated over the years. I mean, they've met, I think, in the 2017-18 season, 2018-2019 season, and Liverpool won 3 of those games and only drew 1. And in the last visit to the Dragao, FC Porto's home ground, in the last 2 visits, Liverpool won 5-0 and 4-1. But I believe now that this is going to be a different ball game altogether. Porto has improved. They've gained the necessary experience, and they've also strengthened and brought experience with the likes of Pepe at the back, who's still going at 38, 39 years of age. So it's going to be a very different game. But I believe that for a team like Liverpool, they should have enough to still win this one. And also on a Porto side, it will be an exciting game for one former Liverpool player in Marco Grujic in the middle of the park. It will be interesting to see how he fares up with Liverpool's midfield. Like we mentioned also with Manchester City in terms of the schedule, Liverpool also will be playing this one with one eye on the weekend for the game against Manchester City on Sunday. So you'll expect that Liverpool is going to rotate, and Jurgen Klopp, being a coach who doesn't really do well when it comes to rotation, it's going to be interesting where he chooses to rotate, but I feel like he has a few limited options as to where he's going to rotate. So, I mean, at the back, you are likely to see a player like Van Dijk staying, and then Matip out, with Ibrahim Konate playing with Van Dijk at centre-back positions. And then at right-back, with Trent Alexander-Arnold out and Neco Williams just coming back from injury, you will expect that a guy like Milner or Joe Gomez is going to play at right-back. And then at left-back, you will expect that he will play Kostas Tsimikas instead of Robertson. And in terms of form-wise, I mean, Tsimikas has been more on form, and he has created, I think, 2 assists already in, I think, 4 or 5 games that he has played so far. He's the one who is better informed than Robertson in that left-back position. And in the middle of the park, you'll expect that Fabinho will stay. And if there is any rotation there, it will have to be between Henderson and Curtis Jones. You don't expect a guy like Keita to start after having a knock in the previous game. So you expect that he might play a Henderson and a Curtis Jones, or Oxlade-Chamberlain and a Curtis Jones in that middle of the park, but Fabinho will stay at 6. And then up front, we all know that Salah won't be rotated. No matter what happens, Salah won't be rotated. It's not going to happen. And with Firmino back, it's highly unlikely for me that he will start from the goal and start the match. It's likely to come maybe in the second half, play the last 80 minutes or the last 20 minutes in preparation for the weekend. So I believe Jota, Salah will start, and then Mane will be rested for Minamino, or it's more likely that he will be rested for Minamino or Origi. It will depend on how Klopp sees it, but it's going to be interesting, because I feel like, just like what we said of Man City, that they have the luxury of rotating players without a drop in quality. For Liverpool, if you look at the players, more especially up front and in the middle of the park, will think that when you drop a Mane and you bring a Minamino or Origi, there is some drop in quality right there, you know. And if you don't have a Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back, you have a Milner or a Joe Gomez, you lose that creative spark that Trent Alexander-Arnold gives you going forward. So I feel like the only position where they, at the moment, are able to rotate without worrying about quality, it's probably the centre back and the left back position with Tsimikas and Robertson, and the centre backs with Matip, Ibrahim Konate, Joe Gomez, and Van Dijk. I feel like with those, they have the luxury of doing that. But in the middle of the park, once you take Thiago out and you have Henderson, I mean, Thiago is out with injury, but if you take Thiago out, for example, and you bring a Henderson or a Chamberlain or a Naby Keita, you have a different player altogether. So that means that the systems are going to be different as well. But with that being said, I still believe that Liverpool should have enough to beat this Porto side. It might not be as by many goals as it was in the previous two matches, but I believe that Liverpool can still take this one by 2-1.
I believe you've covered almost everything there. I mean, Liverpool is your passion, but I also think going to a big game after the draw points against Brentford, they will want to go to weekend with on a high note. I think personally, I think we'll see a strong team from Liverpool. It won't change much. The reason being, FC Porto, they've been playing well. Yeah. From last season, they've been performing well. You wouldn't want to lose. You want to drop more points, regardless of it's a Champions League or EPL. So I think most of us will start for this one. We won't have like too much changes, especially up front. I still believe they will win. They will win easy, and even if they don't start, they might come in the second half. Most guys will come in. I expect Mane to play. I expect Salah to play. Just in Champions League, it's easier to collect points from the beginning of the games because you know how intense it gets with EPL. Yeah, trying to catch up on Champions League while dealing with EPL is most difficult thing that any coach will have to deal with. So I believe, still given a chance that they're still playing well, they don't have much injuries. They might play the strongest team just for them to get maximum point of this game and be able to rotate when they Porto return the match.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what I think that's a good point, because if you look at the other teams in the group, this is one of the groups that has been dubbed the group of death. So it's not going to be easy. So I think maybe given the chance, you'll want to play your best 11, collect the points, and then rest the players. Maybe if you manage to score early, rest the players in the second half. So yeah, I think that's a valid point. But yeah, we shall see how they manage the load, because yeah, it's going to be an intense a period for these teams that are having these tough matches like Man City and Liverpool. So yeah, no, thanks, Eugene. See you next time. We're going to review and see your predictions if they came all right. And then, yeah, we'll see you next time when we talk about other matches. Hi guys, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and share this video. Till we meet again next time. Bye-bye. Aye.